Winter had draped the town in a blanket of quiet snow, each flake falling like a soft whisper from the heavens. In the stillness, the ocean hummed beneath the moonlight, waves brushing the cliffs with gentle persistence. In a small, crooked house perched on the edge of the world, a jar sat forgotten on a wooden shelf. It had been years since anyone touched it, and yet it held more than dust and silence. It held promises. Dreams that were once alive, now waiting patiently for a hand brave enough to remember. This is the story of one such hand, one such heart, and the note that could awaken a life long left dormant. Elias had always said that some dreams sleep longer than others, waiting for a perfect moment to stir. But sometimes that perfect moment arrives in a shiver of wind or the glimmer of moonlight, unnoticed by most. Caleb, a man who had once believed in impossible things, walked along the icy shore, his coat buttoned against the bitter wind, hands shoved deep in pockets. He felt the familiar tug of emptiness, a hollow echo that followed him like a shadow. The world around him was quiet, but inside a storm raged. Whispers of abandoned promises, faint traces of joy, and the ache of potential wasted. He stumbled upon a small wooden cabin, smoke curling lazily from its chimney. The glow from within seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. Something, he could not name it, drew him forward. The door creaked open before his hand even touched it, revealing a figure by a fire, eyes reflecting both warmth and centuries of quiet wisdom. "Come closer, Caleb," the man said. "Tonight, we speak of dreams and of what it means to let them sleep and awaken them again." Caleb had been 29 when the world finally began to feel heavier than air. Outwardly, he was a man who had achieved a stable job, a tidy apartment, friends he could call at a moment's notice. But the world he carried inside his chest was a winter of its own, cold and silent, littered with the ghosts of abandoned passions. Once, he had wanted to compose music that moved souls, to write words that lingered in hearts, to paint something the world would remember. But life had offered compromise instead of magic. Obligations, fear, self-doubt, and the small whisper of "not now." Years passed, and his dreams were packed away in boxes he never unpacked. Until tonight, when the cold moonlight brought him here, to the door of the man who promised to awaken what had been left behind. He could not remember when hope had first slipped, only that it had. And yet, standing in that threshold, Caleb felt it flicker faintly, like a candle in the wind. Inside, the cabin was warm and smelled of cedar and old parchment. Elias gestured toward the fire, and Caleb obeyed, sitting on a small stool worn smooth with time. The jar on the shelf caught his eye, a simple glass vessel, luminous in the firelight, filled not with dust, but with the soft shimmer of forgotten dreams. "This jar," Elias began, his voice like slow music, "holds what we often leave behind. Dreams, promises, all the things we meant to do, but did not. They are waiting for someone who remembers." Caleb's chest tightened. He had forgotten so much. His music, his poems, his sketches, all packed away, all abandoned. Elias continued, "Tonight you will write one note, one truth you wish to reclaim. Fold it carefully and place it inside the jar. But know this, it is not simply a note. It is a promise to yourself, to awaken what has slept too long." Caleb took a deep breath, fingers trembling, and retrieved a sheet of paper and a pen. His hand hovered over the blank page. Memories rose like tides, melodies half remembered, words whispered under his breath in empty rooms, colours that only lived in imagination. He wrote, slowly, carefully, each line weighed with the gravity of years lost. The first note slid into the jar with a soft thump, and Caleb felt a spark. But not yet a flame. Doubt rose immediately. Was it too late? Could he even reclaim what time had stolen? Days passed. He returned to the jar every night, adding notes, sometimes trembling with hope, sometimes choked by fear. The magic of the cabin, the fire, the moonlight, the whispers of the waves seemed to respond. Yet the winter outside remained cold and unyielding. One night he nearly gave up. "It's useless," he whispered to himself. "The world doesn't care. Dreams are for the young, the brave. I've already failed myself." Elias appeared as if from the shadows, and yet, he said softly, "You are here. You have not left. You are writing. That alone is proof the dream was never truly lost. Fear is heavy, Caleb, but it is not stronger than the will to awaken what sleeps inside you." The tears came then, silently, as he realized he had been carrying not just abandoned potential, but the weight of believing he had no right to hope. The jar shimmered, catching fragments of moonlight and starlight alike, and he saw the proof of his courage reflected in its glass. It was the longest night of winter, snow blanketing the earth like untouched paper. Caleb wrote his final note, a melody he had dreamed of composing, a promise to let it live at last. As he folded the paper and placed it in the jar, the vessel glowed from within, and he felt the warmth of every abandoned dream, every promise once forgotten, settling into his chest. Elias approached, smiling faintly. "You see, Caleb, the jar never held your dreams for you. It held your courage to face them again. And tonight, you have remembered. You have not merely recovered a note, a melody, a word. You have awakened yourself." The snow outside seemed to sparkle in answer, the waves of the ocean singing in quiet rhythm. For the first time in a decade, Caleb felt the ache of lost time transform into something radiant, possibility, alive and breathing inside him. Dreams do not vanish. They wait for the moment your heart dares to open its eyes. Weeks later, Caleb opened his own small studio by the shore, where people could come to write, create, and remember the promises they had made to themselves. The jar sat on a shelf, luminous, waiting. A reminder that dreams, like tides, may disappear from view, but never from existence. Caleb still carried fear, doubt, and moments of hesitation, but he had learned a truth older than winter and ocean alike. Abandoned potential is never truly lost. It simply waits for the courage to be remembered and acted upon. Peace, fulfillment, and purpose are not found in perfect timing, but in daring to reclaim the life we almost let slip away. If this story stirred something within you, remember, the dreams you left behind are not gone. One note, one promise, one small step can awaken what has slept too long. Share this tale with someone whose potential is waiting for light, and remind them, it is never too late. Thank you for joining the RiznUp Tales. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing,